Hey, this is Peachy.
I'm Moose.
This is Sudan.
And we'd like to take a moment to thank our original launch site, Anchor.fm, who's helped to enrich this podcast in many ways. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast.
Anchor.fm offers educational tools on how to get started in social media and has not only given our show, stapled together, several platforms to choose from for your listening enjoyment, but continues to offer helpful tips and avenues for growth along the way. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use.
With an easy, hassle-free method for uploading, you can add your podcast episodes to Anchor.fm's extensive library, available for listening on several popular streaming services, letting listeners choose a favorite platform. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast.
That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what we're doing right now by reading this ad.
Go to anchor.fm/start to get started today.
Stay together podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to an exhilarating new episode of Stapled Together Podcast. This is Sudan.
I'm Peachy.
And I'm Moose.
For the comic book release week of April 29th, 2020, which technically, yes, is this day after comic book release since DC changed it.
Yes.
So.
And also comics aren't coming out still until the 19th.
Yeah, it's quarantine available.
Is that all publishers or
It's just DC.
just DC the 19th?
Yeah, all other publishers have ceased at this point because the whole, as we were mentioning, I think a couple weeks ago, you reminded me on that one, is the Diamond comic Diamond Distributors doesn't want to start until
Everything's
they're
set.
okay.
I know that Marvel and Image were both looking at other options, but as of yet, we've had, no announcements from them as far as I know.
Yeah.
I think they're just kind of we're done. Everything's shutting down. But we can talk about that in our news segment. Who's first?
That was the news.
Oh.
No news is like good news is like bad news is like news.
I guess that would be me. My news today was just basically about rumor going around that Universal wants to do more direct to video on demand releases because they saw a huge cash flow off of the Trolls 2 movie. It brought in a lot of money, and I'm sure part of it was parents trying to keep their sanity and get something new for their throw children at the television, see how long they stick and whatever. But they had gotten into an argument. Apparently, part of the rumor is that Universal and AMC had gotten into a whole argument over it because AMC disagreed about the. They're like, well, no, you can't do that. Don't do that. Don't put all. And apparently, Universal was like, no, well, hey, we can talk about it. Let's talk about it without people around. Kind of like the whole Spider-Man, Sony, Disney deal kind of thing. So that's kind of. That may be a possibility. We may be seeing more movies available on demand for. I mean, there's a lot of people that are going to stay home after this whole thing, that just on the regular, stay home. So,
the theater companies are the ones that I imagine are kind of stressing out about that kind of thing because they just need to adapt and start, brokering probably what they were probably doing, some sort of streaming rights type stuff. Like, we're able to have reduced rate streaming of these particular films through our website or app.
Yeah.
We got the Regals, we got the IMAXs and stuff like that, and then we can just watch it on our TVs. I still don't think that's going to take away from me going to the theater.
No, I mean, it's open. Completely different experience, an awesome experience, and so long as they're still able to, I'm going to,
Go to the movies.
Go to the movies, but Yeah, I don't at all. I don't at all mind staying at home.
Right.
But it's a lot like the theaters are feeling that crunch right now. No, they have no business coming in, and then if stuff settles down anytime soon, talk is that I think we talked about it a couple weeks back, that they're not looking to open again until like June or July because there's not a whole lot of movies coming out.
Well, I just saw another new one that was just say they have, at least California theaters have no intent to open anytime soon.
Right.
They're Hollywood Prime. So,
right. For sure.
That's where premieres start.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I kind of like after the Batman shooting, I kind of like thought that theaters would start moving into that direction.
Yeah.
To provide an at-home experience through them, like a theaters type thing, because people don't always want to go out. There are those that have high anxiety.
Yeah.
And providing an at-home experience who, I have a better system than maybe the theater in my town has, Or I don't have a town that I can go to nearby that has a theater. Now I can stream it from that service. And I'm like, surprised they didn't push for that then.
Yeah.
I just think it wasn't very relevant, because that was, 2011?
2010, I think, actually.
Yeah, so Netflix was just a baby.
Yeah,
it's still sending DVDs to homes and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, this is a chance for them to tighten up like those Movie Pass services and stuff like that, and make it a streaming service where you pay, $10, $12 a month, and you get to see, you get your choice of these 12 movies for that month. Whatever, right. And then so on, and whatever new releases. You only get so many new releases or something like that, but, it's a lot more manageable online per customer than it was like people going in and out of theaters and getting, finding loopholes with the card through the theater and stuff like that.
Yes, can't relate to that at all. I've never found a loophole in one of those cards.
I didn't need a card to loop around.
Go to movies every single day.
Back in my day, we'd pay for one movie, see it, then go see the other ones, and never leave it till the end of the day.
That's unheard of.
Never done that before either.
That's how I saw... No, I was kidding. 7 Hills 10.
Yeah. I was,
a lot of time there.
But yeah, that was my little snippet of news that I had today.
Nice.
Yeah. What do you got, Ooze?
Me. I have news.
Ooze
news?
Ooze news.
Ooze
pretty accurate because it seems to be always that I am talking about. Rick and Morty is coming back this Sunday, guys.
Nice.
You know how excited I am?
That is Ooze news. That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't know it was so soon.
Yeah, this Sunday they put out a couple of pictures for the new episode. One specifically on the 26th, which we all know is a special day in my heart because it's 4/26, which is Aliens Day.
Right.
And the picture is for their new episode called Primordius.
Primordius?
Is going to be a spoof off of Prometheus.
Huh.
Supposedly. Off of the pictures and the name, of course, but there's facehugger type things and egg-looking things. And
interesting.
I'm excited.
Hell yeah.
That's going to be fun.
I've also been watching all of the Alien movies.
Oh, that was you?
We're going to have...
What?
Can you believe it? We're going to have Order 66 and Rick and Morty in the same weekend.
No, we're not.
Order 66.
We're going to be watching that next week because we have to watch.
We have to hurt this weekend.
Good.
Deep hurting.
Yeah, guys, Clone Wars last season. But Rick and Morty, also hilarity and depression, but hilarity.
They hit you in the feels in the strangest way, so I'm curious to see how they're going to do that with that. That's fun.
And, of course, alien references are a thing that I am always there for. So I'm excited. They also posted another picture, and it's like an exchange of some sort of gem and, you know, Rick doing
hologram
stuff.
Oh.
No. Rick being shady and stuff like he do.
Right.
He's always got plans.
He throw them shade.
But, yeah, Rick and Morty.
Rick and
Super
Morty.
excited. Love Rick and Morty.
That's awesome.
And, yeah, that's my news.
Nice.
Sweet. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
What news do you have, Sudan?
Well, I was in the pose. Yeah. Speaking of announcements of things, Disney, the great overlords, announced that they're trying to copyright May the 4th.
Oh.
Oh, really?
No, there's a lot of rumblings on the net saying that they're trying to do that. They're sending people like, hey, since you use that, we can use your what you said, the hashtag, and it's like, But the reason why that made a big plunge is because they announced the Skywalker Complete Saga will be on Disney Plus. So,
Yep.
May the 4th, Ooze, Peachy, and I are going to sit down.
And
We're
marathon.
not going to stop watching Star Wars until the end of Episode 9. You knew this was ordained in the stars.
Yeah, I work.
Hey. Yeah, well, I kind of half expected you couldn't even take off Alien Day.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, they couldn't.
She said it in her own post.
I did.
But no, this is cool because it's like we're getting to the end of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
The bitter end of the Clone Wars, and so now we can actually just like have everything all there, everything Skywalker, everything there is all going to be in one place.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I'm looking forward to. Hopefully they make like an actual like
playlist
to where you can just like, all right, next.
I think you can. I think you can make a watch list. Which I did for Marvel. And it'll play them back to back. It's just you have to. It's weird the order that it puts them in. I think it might like, unless you specify otherwise or put them in a specific order, it puts them by like release.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I'm just excited to be able to watch, everything all the way through without having to be like, well, let's go down the street and go to the theater and wait 3 hours and with nerds and stuff.
Yeah, I'll have to finally check out the Star Wars.
Yeah, none of us are really all that enthralled by Star Wars at all. None of us.
I don't think I've even seen Warring Stars.
None of us are getting ready to throttle our own parents over the head because they're talking during a lightsaber battle.
Like, as such a good lightsaber. I don't even care.
Who wants to see a movie about anthropomorphic stars?
The thing is that, like, the lightsaber battle, yeah, sure, it was great. But that's not even what I was excited for. My excitement was for Darth Maul, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and literally any clones. And literally any clones in the same episode.
This...
Just because the last season didn't have any Darth Maul, and it's fine. It's fine because he's back, so it doesn't matter.
We definitely... That's another one I'm hoping. The last 4 of these episodes have been cinematic so far. You can tell it's a different, darker, much like whoa feeling to the thing.
For sure.
They pulled out a lot of stops on it. This is kind of turning into a review, but
Yeah.
I hope, and I'm like gonna hope that somebody does this and they cut it.
Yeah.
So that you don't have the credit endings, you don't have the openings, you just have...
No,
Man,
openings, though. You gotta have the opening.
They really kind of cut them, though, on these. They didn't really have the... Whoa! Blah, 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 blah. They kind of just went into...
But for a reason.
Yeah, for sure.
They could do the first part. But, like, for each episode, they don't need the whole, like... Mandalore! A place of war! quotes are fine. The roll of the thing, that's fine with me. But I'm like, I want it to just be like film movie like. And I'm also hoping somebody does it where they do the parallel between the movie.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were gonna say.
I like that they're intersecting at this point right now. That's super cool.
Yeah. Spoilers, by the way.
Kanan. By the time they hear this, I'm sure it'll all have been seen.
They don't know where, with what, or in what context.
Yeah, I was gonna say spoilers.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Always.
Definitely,
There was
always.
a lot of things that they cleared up and stuff, and there was stuff like that I'm like, that's awesome that they're doing this. This should have been out years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if it
it's
would have
fine.
been as refined as it is.
Mm-hmm. That was, oh man, just again, the fluidity of the movement in that one fight scene. That was
And
pretty great.
People and the stuff.
Yeah.
And that was great news. Alright. Anyways.
That's it for the news, I guess. Yes. Let's go right into the reviews section. Comic book! Comic book! Review! Comic book! Review! It's a comic book review.
That's what it is.
Sniffy Kitty, what do you have for us? Just for the record, that really wasn't her.
Are you sure?
She is all kinds of attached to you guys today.
Yeah.
She's like all about.
Oh.
What do you got for us, Peach?
Today my read was a book that was recommended to me quite some time ago. Not very long ago, but some time ago by I don't remember who. But I remembered that I hadn't read it, and so I read it.
They're all dead.
This book was written by Joe Kelly. Artist was Mike Hawthorne. Inker was Victor Olazaba. Color artist was Ruth Redmond. And letterer was BC's Joe Sabino.
That's so exciting for you. I'm so glad you got to enjoy Mike Hawthorne's art.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Good stuff. Yeah. Raza did the cover. Was the cover artist. They had Deadpool the End, as recommended by both of you. Was my...
Woo!
And it was a roller coaster. It was super enjoyable. I like the fact that a lot of the snippets or the stories or whatever, they were ended with a fuck you or go fuck yourself kind of thing, whatever. Yeah, I like, that's good stuff. Definitely super enjoyable. They were you know, I can't pinpoint any which exactly one would have been my favorite, but my favorite part in it.
It was this.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
For those who can't see, we have in the new studio.
Just everyone except for the three of
There's
us.
one spot that's in this place that we don't know why it's there.
It's celebrating our LGBT community, LGBT
Yes.
plus community.
Iceman is there.
Iceman is there.
It's
My
gay.
flag that I got at Pride is there, and the word gay is there, and that's all that matters.
There's
There's an umbrella there.
there's a little rainbow pin.
That's what I meant.
Oh.
I don't know why they called it an umbrella to shape. Rainbows equal umbrella. Suit on logic.
The Stapled Together sidetrack show.
Next time. Dormammu!
My favorite part of the whole book was when a lot of it was there was a lot of randomness, but wait, are they playing "Don't Stop Believing" or "Too Many Cooks"? I can never tell them apart.
Yes.
I'm like, yes.
I remember me being like, "Hey, Suda, too many cooks." But we couldn't talk about it because I wanted you to read it so bad.
Yeah, it was really good, and I am a Mike Hawthorne fan. He does some pretty decent art, so I was pleased with that. A lot of splashes, a lot of, the two-page or full-page splash.
Yeah.
Great stuff. A lot of... I heard at one point that he was supposed to be losing his fourth wall breaking or that kind of thing, whatever, but, a lot of that was in the book, which was great. It was really good. I'm sorry that I waited so long to read it.
It's alright.
Should have gotten it when you guys did and read it then, but I'm glad I read it now.
Yes, it was... Wow. I didn't even know that's what you were going to read. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
Today's been a good comic day.
Yeah,
That's
for
pretty
sure.
awesome. It was a good book. I'm glad you read it.
Me too.
Finally. And what better part of our segment than when you're talking about Deadpool than to go off on a tangent?
Yeah.
Right?
Like,
For real.
or a fourth wall break, you know?
Yeah.
For real.
Save me. They have me trapped in here. There's stuff called for help. There's Raphael that's staring at me. It's his pizza.
My pizza.
I don't know why we care, but it's his pizza. He lost his side.
You lost the side. My pizza.
Well, thank you, Peachy. That's awesome. I'm glad you got that.
Yes.
Ooze?
Me too.
It was a good book. It was. I remember it being good. I really like the Iceman part still.
Yeah, that's pretty funny stuff.
Hi, I'm Ooze.
Ooze, what do you got for us?
I read a number 1 that isn't getting a number 2 for a minute, apparently. Actually, it might be coming out sooner because it's a DC book. But I read Strange Adventures number 1.
Nice.
Stranger Things.
Strange Adventures number 1.
With Adam Strange.
Featuring Adam Strange. I wanted to read Mr. Miracle, but my comic book store didn't have it. Our comic book store didn't have it.
Yeah, it's hers now.
It is mine.
Just hers.
It is.
Post-pandemic, it's hers.
I'm cutting this out, but they let me in to the store, and I was so happy.
Well, you said on the stream today he'll let one person in at a time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But
I don't want
streams
streams.
especially.
Yes, specifically.
I think they changed the rules specifically.
Yeah,
for
just
you.
for me. They saw
I'm
me
saying
and they're
you-
like, I don't know where I left off, but I read. Oh yeah, Mr. Miracle.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna read Mr. Miracle. Comic book store didn't have it. Long tangent. My arm's bleeding. Your tube's been destroyed by a cat. And, and we're back.
See.
So, yes. I wanted to read Mr. Miracle because it's like Eisner winning and stuff. And it's supposed to be like really good.
That's that Tom Taylor, right?
Yeah, it's Tom Taylor. Totally. It's
Tom
all his fault.
King.
Yes, it is the other Tom. Tom King. So, writing by Tom King, art by Mitch Gerards?
He went to Jared's.
I thought you were going to say Mitch McConnell. I was all like, really?
Yes.
Really? He's multi-talented.
And something by Evan Shanner. I don't care enough to look right now.
Wow.
No, it's just, I'm trying to remember everything that I was gonna say. So yeah, Mr. Miracle was apparently, like, amazing. Kind of disappointed that I'm not gonna be able to read it for, until I can get it.
Right.
I should have asked my comic book store to order it for me, but I didn't think about it, because I was flustered by the fact they didn't have it.
Right. Well, at least you could call.
I did call.
Oh.
But it doesn't matter. Being on the phone gives me anxiety.
Same skis.
So, I read Strange Adventures number 1. And, the art's amazing. Like, amazing. And, the writing is pretty good. So, when this book came out, I follow Tom King on Instagram. Someone apparently had asked him what they need to know about Adam Strange before reading Strange Adventures, and he said nothing. Huh. And I'm like, okay. So... You
believed him.
I believed him. And now I'm like, I don't know what's going on, man. Huh. Which I think I think it's supposed to be the point. Like, there's a lot of going from present time Earth to past time not Earth.
Right.
And to a planet that he was Zeta beamed to, where he is the protector of, that I don't remember what it's called because I'm really bad with details.
I don't remember what it is, but it is something of importance.
Yes. There's something on my comic. It is...
Sorry, my distraction is I was trying to see if maybe it was digitally available for one of those, like, maybe you can read the graphic novel digitally in some sort of grit your teeth to do it kind of thing, so that way you get the story, but it's not available on Comixology as a unlimited or something free, so that means it's probably not also available on the DC network or whatever. Which is a shame. That's a book that I would like to pick up and look at and read. Look at read. I didn't see and read. I said look at read.
Look at read.
Ran with 2 N's.
Ran, yes.
Ran with 2 N's. Where he became the protector, fell in love, had a kid, classic story. Mm-hmm. So basically, in the past times, they're in the middle of a war, and he's supposed to be protecting the people of Ran against the bad guys. And then, in the present times, he wrote a book about his adventures, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! You're such a hero."
Sci-fi.
Yeah. Well, it's a memoir, and everyone knows that he actually, because I mean, it's in the actual DC universe.
Right.
And, like, he's friends with Batman
and
stuff.
Okay.
So there's that, which plays in because there's secrets that he didn't put in his book because it's war, and there's going to be both sides of the war, that like, oh, he's a hero, or oh, he's a villain, because that's how things work. But there's a guy who's like, I know what you did, you're a liar. He's wearing the Black Canary shirt, which is great. He did like the band shirt because the Black Canary band, which I have that entire series, great series. But there's like a lot of little references. Apparently there's a character that was in Mr. Miracle that shows up in this book.
Nice.
And stuff, which is like, oh, I want to read Mr. Miracle. Cool.
Right.
But also there was previews for this book in other books, so like half of the book I already knew what was going to happen, like that attached to also following Tom King on Instagram.
Right,
like, okay,
right.
I know what's happening. But the angry guy wearing the Black Canary t-shirt winds up dead, and his head got blown off by some sort of ray gun.
Ronald Reagan.
No.
Oh.
That's like...
He did.
That's like the one that Adam has, so everyone's like, oh, did he kill him? And he's like, no, I didn't kill him. I need someone to prove my innocence. So he goes to Batman. He's like, I need you to help me. And Batman's like, we've known each other for too long. I would try to like prove your innocence over actually doing detective work. So no.
Huh.
Bye. I'll find someone who you haven't interacted with that much that will actually like have what is that called?
Knowledge or a background.
No bias?
Yeah, no bias,
yeah.
I guess. I feel like there's another word that I was thinking of. But yeah, no bias towards you in either direction. But he's also having nightmares. And his daughter died, and it was very sad. And we don't know how. Favoritism. No, that was not the word that I was thinking of now. But, yeah.
No,
but there's,
emotionally invested, sorry.
Yes, something like that.
Sorry.
But, yeah, daughter died, and everyone's sad, and he's, like, this super big star, but he has, like, a tragic backstory, because it's DC and stuff. And, at the very end, he's thinking about his daughter or whatever, but then his wife's like, hey, he's here, he's waiting for you, hurry up, blah, 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 and it's Mr. Terrific, he's gonna help Adam Strange prove his innocence and
Nice.
stuff, and that's
Cool.
exciting.
I didn't know Mr. Terrific was a lawyer. Or is he just...
I think he's just a smart dude.
Oh, yeah, because he wants him to do the research.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
He's
that's
also
cool.
part of Batman's Outsiders team, which is
Yeah.
like an investigative type team.
He's also part of the Terrifics.
The Terrifics too. Yeah. Everybody's a part of something, and then they're part of
He's
something.
Mr. Terrific.
DC board.
DC board.
DC board!
We actually have the board now. We just need to do the work,
Yeah!
which is the problem.
We got all the rope. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, is that the rope to tie it all together? I was
I
just
feel like that's going to be too thick, though.
What?
Because you have to, like, wrap it around the...
And you just pin it.
Oh.
Pin through it.
Okay, we'll figure it out. It's fine. But yeah, so that's Strange Adventures #1.
So it left you with a kind of like what's happening next, but no like idea when that's gonna happen.
Yeah. Like, if I was really hoping that there'd be 2 out. I was looking at it this morning. I'm like, hopefully there's 2, so I kind of get, like, the feel for the story. But just the one.
Oh.
Just the one.
Yeah.
March was supposed to be the final issue of several series
Yeah.
that I ever and now I'm like,
Yeah, I got the previews today, and there's stuff in there that I'm like, oh yeah, that's supposed to be coming out again eventually. Like Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, the majority of mine are ongoing, so it's like...
You're just waiting.
Yeah. Holding pattern.
And there's a new Spider-Man series coming out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
boy. Yeah, we were waiting for the end of the JJ one too. That was supposed to come out like last month or this month.
Yeah, I think I didn't pick up like the last couple.
He-Man and the Masters of the Multiverse is coming out the week of the 19th.
Nice.
So there's that.
Nice.
So
there you
can
go.
see the end of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Joker Wars starts in 3 months, 3 months. I don't know. Whatever the
What about
previews
the
are
3
for.
Jokers or whatever?
Oh yeah, 3 Jokers and Joker War.
Oh,
both.
okay.
Because the Joker War is a thing right now.
So like the 3 Jokers is like a one of those Black Label series. So it's a side series, whereas the like that. That's a Black Label.
It is a Black Label
didn't think it
series.
was a Black
I'm pretty
Label.
sure this is a reprint, but yeah, Strange Adventures is also now a Black Label series for more inappropriateness, which is good.
Huh. That's
It's
pretty awesome.
blood and gore and other things.
2-for-1 nooses.
I love yogurt. Yeah, so that was my book. You can tell them later.
Yeah.
The nuisance.
Yeah.
But yeah, art was amazing. I like the little nods to other things. I very much want to read Mr. Miracle and have a full story.
Yeah.
I know.
Great.
Full
That's awesome.
Yeah. What did you have the suit on?
The suit on. What did I have? What did I have? So I'm doing a review that marks the end of our story.
Oh.
The end. This is the end.
Mine was the end.
This is the end of our story.
Deadpool the end.
We are Venom. The end.
Oh.
Number 1.
Oh, so you both read the ends.
Yes,
Oh,
we
that's
both
funny.
read the ends.
Weird.
I went.
That is weird.
And I did
No
read
collaboration.
Venom number 1, the end, which is super interesting because I was like looking for a super lazy read today. I was like, I need something, and then it turned out to be like, oh, this will be a book to read, and then it turned out to be a really good book to read. Following in the same facets as Captain Marvel, Deadpool, Hulk, and a lot of the other ones that we've seen.
Captain America.
Captain
Yeah.
America. We didn't talk about that one, did we?
I did.
Yeah.
I thought you talked about Marvel.
No.
Oh, okay. It's all.
Yeah. Oh, I was talking about how disappointing the Captain America one was.
Remember now. This one was done by Adam Warren, writing.
Nice.
Art was by Jeffrey Chapa Cruz. It says Chapa. Coloring was by Guro EFX, not a real name. And of course, I too have the Raza
nice cover. Yes.
And this book, it does kind of what I expected from it. It does a jump back, kind of like quick history of what Venom's life was, because they've changed it so much recently. That's kind of like, right, this is it.
This is canon.
This is, all this stuff. Basically, kind of say
if this is it, please let me know.
Huh?
If this is it, please let me know.
Okay. They keep jumping through the time of it. They kind of talk about Time's Arrow is kind of like the storyline, what it was called. And he talks about how like he had lots of hosts, but the only ones that were really kind of stuck to was Eddie. Right. Eddie was his best. When he connected with, and everybody he's connected to, he's taken a piece of their DNA.
Right.
And he talks about how as time goes on, he tried to keep Eddie alive as long as he possibly could. To the point where Eddie was just nothing, but he kept replacing pieces of Eddie with pieces of venomized whatever.
Right, like organs and whatnot.
Yeah, and then even down to his synapses, his memories and stuff were being overtaken by him as a venomized version of like whoever, like Mary Jane, like or other superheroes and such like that. And this eventually Eddie Brock disintegrates and there's nothing left of him. While this is all going on, there is a massive fight for struggle for survival for life, biological life. Which, as we know, the symbionts need a host to survive. And on the other end, there is a, thanks to, I think it was the Kree. It's always the Kree. They break the law of the international and authorize the creation of artificial intelligence, and then it runs rampant and assimilates everything and becomes a big AI war across the entire galaxy and universe. Or the galaxy eventually, and Venom does what he can to survive. He tries to go to the symbionts and they're like, nah, we're good. It's just about us. And so he kills all the symbionts.
Yeah.
He destroys them all.
Nice.
It's like, well, fine, if you're not going to join me, you're not going to, what's the point of you existing? And of course they lost all their biological hosts. He took all the DNA and he left the galaxy. And he went to a different galaxy and he started using that knowledge and this stuff and started using the memories he had from all these other hosts like Peter Parker and all these other guys. And it's funny is they're showing like all these different like ratings of like the different hosts and stuff. And Peter Parker was like a 1-star. Well, that's great. But they talk about he uses mutant abilities like he's multiple man. So he uses his genetic code to create multiple versions of himself.
That's cool.
Mutant-wise, which then allowed him to then use other mutant abilities for time travel to go through time to basically connect with every living being that ever existed in the universe or in the galaxy on Earth and everything. Basically cataloging every DNA code that existed.
That's awesome.
And this was his way of trying to figure out how to defeat a now overpowering the entire universe AI with the face of Tony Stark, of course. Because
he needs Neo.
It's not really him, but it's just what the AI does.
Right.
And he, eventually he figures out how to weaponize himself, and the machines were just too much. And eventually, all the hosts died off. He was using like Storm's abilities and stuff like that, like making just venomized versions of these characters. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
So like, it was really cool how they do it, and then eventually he loses. He can't survive it, so he just sacrifices himself by ripping open the connection he has. So this it's across the entire universe in this massive thing, which unleashes this energy and basically wipes out what he can. But what happened is it ended up sending everything to a brand new universe and becoming just this luscious, perfect, serene universe with life, like non-ending life. Because he went across the entire universe and logged everything through time. So he basically went to this, and then the AI that was Tony Stark's finds this one multiverse amongst all the multiverse that he's taking over. Just because he can.
Right.
And except for this one, he's like, this is a biological preserve. This is the Venomverse.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, oh, that was cool. So Venom actually, like, is a hero, ultimate hero type thing. And I'm like, that's cool, the intricacies of everything. It was a really good read.
Yeah.
I wish I would have picked up that Venomverse when that was going on.
Venom Island and Venomverse were both supposedly, like, really, really good stories.
They were, yeah,
Venom
from what I
Island was
heard.
recently.
Yeah.
And that's leading into something else that's coming. This is all stemmed out of Absolute Carnage and before that. So yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I kind of wish I had picked up a lot of the Venom before Carnage. I think you have a lot of those, though.
I sold them.
Oh.
No, I didn't sell them. I gave them away.
They're digitals.
For other
I do have the digitals, yeah.
I still have the digitals.
products.
Yes, yes.
I don't know why I whispered that. I'm like, you still have the digitals.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it for me. That was a really cool read. I'm glad. It was one of those ones that I didn't pick up. I was telling you earlier, like I picked up on one of those ones that I'm gonna go buy out the rest of my hold slot.
Right.
It was one of those like I want to get it, but it wasn't. I think it's actually one that I meant to pick up, but I got mixed up with something else because there's always that like
Right.
X-Men 8 number 8 back
Right.
or whatever. And I ended up getting a variant cover of the same book twice. I was like, damn it.
Oh, yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
It's that week.
Yeah, that was
The week that I put together your hold slot and you still got it wrong.
Well, because it was we're closing. I was trying to be in a hurry. But, well, that was it. That was all for us. That was awesomeness. Clap, 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 clap. Why clap? But, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That was comic books
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah, for sure.
Wait.
Do yourself a favor and try to pick up comic books wherever you can, preferably at your local shop. If you have a way to pick them up and buy them products, buy them from your local comic book stores and show them some support during these times that we, your third place. During these times that we find ourselves in, pick them up. It's always worth it to have a collection of books you could always look back on.
Yeah. If you don't know where your local comic book store is, try comicbookstorelocator.com to figure that out. I still haven't used it, but I know where my local comic book store
One of
is.
these days you're going to have to like check and make sure that the website is still up and running. It's one of those things that it's like, oh, AOL is still not up? Oh, I thought that was, I could go to Netgear or whatever. Yeah.
Netgear?
I think
Bing.
Netgear is still a thing.
Probably. But,
Internet
yeah.
service provider.
Bing all the way, baby.
I use Ask Jeeves.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love pulling that one out because nobody remembers that.
Oh, I just hated when they like.
I still
went
have
to go
Clippy.
for it. It doesn't work
And
anymore.
who doesn't have Clippy?
It was so sad
This
with
guy.
Clippy.
Clippy. The clip.
A little paper clip that would find whatever you're looking for.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh,
Clippy.
Yeah. They also had a
Windows.
dog. I actually usually
Yeah, I
switch it
used
to
the dog. Yeah.
Animals.
He'd go sniffing
tangents.
around.
Yep. This is the episode of Tangents.
Tangents.
Yeah.
Suna, did you want to say something about social media?
Just check us all out on the social medias. You got Peachy Keen 76 on
You.
the Instagram.
What?
I suppose you can check us out on the Facebook with the social medias of the Stapled Together universe. You also got Ooze
Ooh.
at the Stapled Together Pod. Instagram, and then of course we also staple together pod on the podcast on Twitter. And
Yes.
Also, Sudan segment returning.
Nice.
In May, probably before this is out.
Get that Pokemon fix.
I didn't know that it was gone.
It has not been released in about 2-3 weeks since the end of the tournament. I've kind of like stopped. Yeah. But it's come back.
Yeah, cool.
Yay.
Yay. Awesome.
Well, yeah, that's it for us. Peachy, do you have a quote?
I do not.
Do you have a quote for us? for the rest of the... You know what I mean?
For Mama.
This is mostly just relaying for people who still are upset that they can't go outside. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one.
Definitely. That's great.
And just keep that in mind. Stay inside. Wash your hands. If you have to go out, practice physical distancing, and wear a mask, please. So all of this can be over so much quicker.
Right.
I want to go back to my comic book store every Wednesday.
Right.
I want to go back to my community.
Yeah.
My third place.
My third place. And we're not meaning that as a joke, because it's serious, but it's still funny. But it's true.
Faux shout.
Yeah.
Did they give did they give you a new first impression?
Yes, actually, James told me to stop buying comic books. No, just in general. I don't think he likes comic books.
Did he want you to buy baseball cards? He's all like, come in and buy these rookie cards over here.
He was like, Tuesdays are better anyways, because we were talking about the DC, how they're releasing on Tuesdays instead of Wednesdays. He's like, Tuesdays are better anyways. Now I can play video games and stuff. And I'm like, what? Okay. Like, you couldn't do that the rest of the time? What? What do you even do? But I did tell Ryan that it was nice seeing them, and he said, you too. See you again soon.
Yeah, that's cool.
Stay home. Do you have a quote from us?
Yeah. It's the episode of tangents. Tangent. Words.
Yes.
I was expecting like the cat chewed through your thing.
The cat chewed through my tube.
Catch you on the flip.
We'll have you listening next time, guys.
Thank you for tuning in.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.
I was going to make a visual reference.
Oh my god.
Hey, thanks for listening to our podcast. If you enjoyed this, connect with us on social media, and of course like and subscribe so you don't miss out. Music is brought to you by Kevin MacLeod. Find more of his music by visiting incompetch.com or clicking on the link in the description. If you want to listen to more, find us on anchor.fm, our website unstablettogetherpod.wixsite.com, and pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts.